There are some less than savory methods of attempting to trick an ATS. It's not enough to simply include the keywords in your resume and call it a day. It can be easy to let your inner graphic designer go crazy and make fancy, flashy resumes. So in this video, we'll explore the best practices for optimizing a resume so that it is correctly parsed by an ATS and sent to a human recruiter for further review. Hey, and welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Preston. I'm a professional recruiter in the technology industry. In my last video, we looked into the prevailing theory that an applicant tracking system, or ATS, is responsible for automatically rejecting a large percentage of resumes. This common belief has led to the misconception that ATS software is actively working against applicants, and it's something to be feared. But put simply, this is not the case. An applicant tracking system is only as selective as the user makes it. That means that while your application isn't simply automatically rejected, it can easily get overlooked by the ATS if some thought hasn't been put into the structure and format of the resume. I covered a little bit about how to make an ATS-friendly resume in that video, but the topic deserves further exploration. So in this video, we'll explore the best practices for optimizing a resume so that it is correctly parsed by an ATS and sent to a human recruiter for further review. But before we get started, feel free to support a fellow recruiter. Give us a like, subscribe, click that bell. It really means a lot. Online job applications have made it easier than ever for job seekers to find and apply to open positions in a wide range of industries. Unfortunately, the advent of this technology led to a huge increase in the volume of job applications that need to be reviewed by a recruiter. In a perfect world, recruiters and hiring managers would have the time and energy to read each application individually. Unfortunately, this just isn't realistic. This issue essentially necessitates the creation of automated systems to lift some sort of that burden off human recruiters so they could provide better results in a shorter time frame. An applicant tracking system is a solution to this problem, providing recruiters with a comprehensive platform that automatically scans, filters, and sorts applicants' incoming resume, ensuring the human on the other end only sees what the ATS identifies as the best and most qualified resumes that have been submitted. Is an ATS-friendly resume necessary? Considering the thousands upon thousands of applications and resumes received by them each year, an ATS is essential for large companies to streamline and manage their hiring process. In fact, it's reported that 98% of Fortune 500 companies utilize a third-party ATS to help with their operations. But ATS software use isn't limited to large corporations. Small and medium-sized businesses utilize these programs as well. Unless you're applying to a micro-scaled operation, chances are the recruiter or hiring manager promoting the position is utilizing an applicant tracking system in some capacity. As we discussed in my previous video, it is easy for inexperienced users to program an ATS to be too strict, filtering out potentially qualified individuals based on education or work history that may not be relevant to their ability to perform the job. My hope is that recruiters and hiring managers become aware of this issue and adjust their ATS softwares to be less strict. But the truth is, it may be up to the applicant to optimize the resumes to avoid these filters and hopefully get in front of a real human who can better determine their fit for the position. Optimizing a resume for an applicant tracking system. So with that in mind, here are some tips, tricks, and advice for optimizing your resume and ensuring it doesn't get caught and automatically rejected based on potentially arbitrary filters. Prep, things to keep in mind. Before you begin tailoring your resume and submitting it to the companies, it's important to step back and consider the jobs you'll be applying for. It may seem like obvious advice, but only apply to jobs you're qualified for. It may be tempting to submit your resume to any job that strikes your interest, but this is a surefire way to get flagged and immediately rejected by an ATS. ATS software is designed to discard applications it determines are completely irrelevant, so you must make sure you have the transferable skills to function in the position. Keep in mind that this doesn't mean you have to meet every single specific qualification. You just have to be able to tie your previous experiences back to the job you're applying to in a way that the ATS will register and subsequently push it through to a human recruiter. Similarly, don't apply to too many jobs at the same time. An ATS makes it easy to see the other positions within the organization you've applied to. Dumping your application on any open position makes you look completely desperate and diminish the likelihood that you'll be considered, because it makes it hard to pinpoint your specialties. Only apply to positions that you're specifically interested in and can apply your past experiences to. If there are two similar positions open in the same company, don't hesitate to apply to both. But if one is widely different from the other, pick the one you're most appropriate for. Research keywords. Keywords are the backbone of how we structure online content. If you're familiar with how search engines like Google and Bing, they parse web pages to find relevant content, you'll know how important keywords are. Similarly, keywords are one of the main ways ATS software determines the relevancy of a resume. While some more advanced programs may include more extensive features such as AI language processing and more, you can be sure that the effective use of keywords will be helpful in getting your resume in front of a real human being. The best place to start is the job posting itself. It's likely already been search engine optimized with keywords already, so look for words and phrases that appear multiple times and relate directly to the responsibilities and requirements of the job. Words like sales, marketing, development, or programming can be keywords, and so can longer phrases such as high school diploma or GED or customer follow-up and follow-through. It would be impossible to cover all of the relevant potential keywords in a single video. So this is where your own research skills will come into play. If you're struggling to find keywords from the job description, consider going deeper and checking the company's website, career pages for more information, or even researching other similar jobs for keywords at competing companies. There are even online resume keyword tools to help research and generate potential keywords as well. Tie keywords to tangible experience. When including your keyword in your resume, it's important to keep two things in mind. Number one, ensure that the keywords match the exact phrasing found on the job posting, because these are the terms that the recruiter will tell the ATS software to search for. It's easy to get overlooked by the ATS by using different terminology. Second, and most importantly, it's not enough to simply include the keywords in your resume and call it a day. They have to be incorporated naturally into your template tied to tangible experience and achievements. This is because including keywords may get you past the ATS filters, but if there's no substance to their use, then the recruiter will be able to tell you you've just keyword packed your resume without actually considering your relevance to the position. Since other applicants will be utilizing the same keywords, it's important that your personality shines through so you can stand out to potential employees. As always, be sure to back up your experience and qualifications with numbers and data if possible. Formatting. The great thing about formatting a resume for an ATS is that if done correctly, it will be formatted perfectly for a human reader too. It can be easy to let your inner graphic designer go crazy and make fancy, flashy resumes. Unfortunately, this will make it that much harder for the ATS to scan and organize the information. A resume should be formatted for quick readability. While there are three common ways of formatting your resumes: reverse, chronological, functional, and combination, the most effective way of structuring your resume for an ATS is reverse chronological. This means you should include a section in your resume that details your work experience, starting from your current position and going back to your oldest, most relevant work. Of course, you may have to add more than just your work history if you want to be considered for this role. A combination resume is the most effective. You can include additional sections for education and more in-depth summary of your work qualifications. Keep the formatting simple, because when an ATS scans a resume, it typically converts the file into a plain text document. The more complex formatting and graphics you include, the harder it will be for an ATS to accurately gather the information. Here are some things to keep in mind when formatting your resume. Use a simple, commonly used font. Avoid direct hyperlinks in text. If necessary, include a link separately. Stick to simple headlines like education, experience, and qualifications. Avoid more flowery language like "why I'm a coding wizard" or something along those lines. Avoid using a header or footer, as they are often excluded by ATS software. Graphics and visuals should be kept to a minimum or just avoided altogether. Tables typically confuse ATS software. Stick to simple bullet points. Avoid trickery. There are some less than savory methods of attempting to trick an ATS that float around the internet. They may seem like smart little hacks you can apply to trick the system, but the truth is, they'll do you more harm than actual good, if not completely disqualify you from the position. It is ineffective to hide keywords or phrases by using white font that blends into the backgrounds. This will get picked up by an ATS and sent to the recruiter in plain text, so it will be immediately obvious that you're trying to pull one over on them. It's also not particularly helpful to include a separate keyword section of your resume, because the keywords must be naturally incorporated into the language in order for it to be truly relevant. Simply placing the keywords on the page will ensure you won't make it very far in the hiring process, because keywords alone don't demonstrate your skills and value. Can you think of some tips I didn't cover in this video? Would love to hear from you. Make sure you leave a comment down below. If you like this video, want to see more like it, feel free to support a fellow recruiter. Give us a like, subscribe, click that bell. It really means a lot. Feel free to also follow me at Preston_Park, as I try my best to also post behind the scenes content daily. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you on the next one.